takes over the whole house, and the sisters get tangled up in these dead-end relationships. But you want to know the craziest part? The most insidious trap of all? Is the dream itself. Moscow becomes this perfect, untouchable ideal. And because it's so perfect in their minds, actually taking a real, messy step towards it feels like it would ruin the dream. So they just wait for a perfect moment that never, ever comes. Their hope doesn't inspire them to act, it paralyzes them. As the years tick by, the dream of Moscow gets further and further away. And this is where the whole play kind of pivots. It stops being a story about escaping and turns into something much deeper, a search for meaning, right there in the lives they're already living. This is the moment of truth. They start to realize that Moscow is probably never going to happen. So they're forced to look at their actual lives and ask that terrifying question. When the one thing you've been living for is gone, what's left? So at first, they turn to work, especially Irina. She starts out with this beautiful, romantic idea that hard work will give her life meaning and purpose. But the reality, it's just a grind. Her job at the telegraph office isn't noble or fulfilling. It's just a boring, repetitive routine that completely empties her out. And this line from Irina, wow, it just captures that feeling perfectly. This was a brilliant young woman who spoke several languages. And now she feels like her mind is just going blank, like she's forgetting who she even is. The very thing she thought would save her is actually destroying her. Okay, so the dream of Moscow is gone, work turns out to be a dead end. So where does that leave them? Well, this brings us to the play's very famous and very challenging conclusion. Yeah, this is the part where Chekhov denies us any kind of easy, happy ending. Nobody gets to Moscow. Nobody finds their true love. There's no big triumph. Instead, he offers something that's maybe more realistic and, in a weird way, more powerful. He offers endurance, the simple, profound act of just carrying on. Right at the very end, after everything has fallen apart, Olga says this. It's such a heartbreaking, beautiful idea. She suggests that maybe the meaning of all their suffering isn't for them at all. Maybe their lives are a sacrifice for some future generation they will never even meet, who will, someday, find the happiness they never could. And that, right there, is why this play is so timeless. It doesn't lie to you and say everything will be okay. It looks right at disappointment and failure, and it asks us to find a reason to keep going anyway. It's about that quiet, desperate search for meaning, even when it feels like there is none. And so Chekhov leaves us with this question that just hangs in the air long after the story is over. When the big dreams fade away, when your own Moscow is always out of reach, what do you live for? It's a question for